Welcome back. You've joined our group of riders as we're heading off from Chatto Creek in South Island, where we just had a great lunch. If you watched the episode last week, we'd fueled up at Alexandra, rode a short way up the road here to Chatto Creek, and now we're heading the road to Ranfurly, and with me in particular, not really knowing what was about to unfold as we got to Ranfurly. Let's see what happened. So our ride plan from Chatto Creek was we were going to swing by Ranfurly for those bikes that wanted or required it, get another little extra splash of fuel. It's only 70k from Chatto Creek to Ranfurly, but 70k is 70k. I'll take every splash that I can whenever there's a chance to put fuel in. And from there we were then going to ride up, I think, around Dunback on the pig route, and then back down through Middlemarch to Mosgiel, where we were booked in to stay the night before our final day on the road together as a group. But it was when we got to Ranfurly, after putting in some fuel and just stretching the legs a little bit, walking around behind the bike, I saw something that was a little bit unexpected. I thought, hello, did I run over something here? There's something pretty dark and black on my tyre. Now, we'll get back to the story in a moment. I just wanted to make sure that we didn't lose sight of this amazing road that we're travelling on. This is the Ida Valley Road that we're using to make our way through to Ranfurly. And man, this was a great road. Haven't been on this one before, and the views that we had coming up along as we headed up to this ridge and up to like a little bit of top of these hills, and then coming over the other side really did take the breath away. It was well worth doing, so I don't want that little tail to distract from the full enjoyment of this particular stretch of road, which over this 9 days of touring, I'd rate this as one of the highlight bits of road of the trip. It really was that good, particularly in a little while as we're coming up over the top of a hill, and then to see I'm guessing it's the Ida Valley spread out in front of us, straight forward, left and right. It really was kind of oh man, this is wild, this is amazing, let's just soak this one in, and it's coming up as we cross this particular line here. Now the grand hand gestures that you see from time to time, it's not anything particularly done for the video at all. It's more done for the benefit of my wife on the back. She's doing the same things to me. That's how we communicate with each other when we're riding, because I have got comms on my helmet, but we don't actually have comms together to each other, so we just tap and point things out as we see things that are interesting to us, and we each manage to just enjoy the ride in our own little worlds as we're travelling along. And the way we share moments is just like you see, with grand hand gestures or little points or taps on the leg or shoulder. So yeah, it works for us, and makes for a happy riding time together. And now let's get back to the story. We're finished with there's still some pretty splendid views left and right looking around, but we're on the flat, and we're about to, well, in a little while we're going to get off the Ida Valley Road and rejoin Estate Highway 85 heading down to Ranfurly. And as I was saying before, that's when the bike was parked up and had a look at it from behind, and I saw the rear wheel had this black mark down the centre of it. But that's weird, what can that be? Well, I can tell you right now, that was actually the steel belt coming through on the tyre at the rear. So this changed quite a few things and injected a little bit of a crisis management moment into the group. And thank goodness I'm riding with a group of great people, awesome friends, and very experienced riders, particularly in group situations. So once it became obvious what was going on with the tyre, which was, this is a shocker, it can't go any further, and let me just say, I own that problem. Definitely, it was my own miscalculation. I'm riding with Avon Cobra Chromes at the rear, and I know from past experience they're good for about 15,000 Ks. For whatever reason, I had miscalculated the maintenance window on the tyres. I was pretty sure that when we set off on this journey, which we knew was going to be about 4,000 plus kilometres, that I had about 10,000 k's worth of wear already done on the rear tyre. The front tyre was fairly much new, it was only about 5,000 k's on it, so plenty of mileage there. The rear tyre, I figured there's enough there to get us back comfortably to Auckland. Turns out I was wrong by quite some margin. Now here we are arriving in Ranfurly, and we're just pulling over by the rest area here, and it was at this point where I'd parked up the bike and had a look behind and saw, to my horror, a tyre that didn't look quite like it should, and I'll show you what I mean in just a moment. See what you think. Yeah, not pretty at all. So anyway, we took some rapid steps there, and led by Rex, God bless him, who was straight on the phone to the Harley Davidson dealer down in Dunedin, McIver Beach. Spoke to the dealer principal down there to explain the problem and say, look guys, have you got a tyre to fit a 2014 Fat Bob? And they looked around, they sure did. They had a Metzler Cruise Tech, which is a great tyre. I'd be more than happy to have that on the bike. So we got them to lock that aside for us, and then we just tried to engineer a way that we could get the bike down to Dunedin, which is round about or close on 150 kilometres away from where we were. So the first thing to do was to lighten the load on the bike. So had a big touring bag on the back of our bike, and our mate James, who rode down with us from Auckland, ended up taking that bag on his bike, and we were going to meet later at Mosgiel. We decided at that point too that the group needed to split. There'd be 3 bikes, obviously my bike, and Rick and Jan, who were going to ride with me to Dunedin. Armada would be on the back with Rick, so thanks again Rick for that, and Jan was going to lead the way, thanks Jan. So the rest of the crew then would carry on and continue the planned ride that was scheduled, and we'd all eventually meet back down on Mosgiel. That was the plan anyway. And once we were ready to hit the road and go our separate ways, about 30 minutes had elapsed from seeing the tyre in a bit of a state. So wasn't that bad, wasn't too long before we were back on the road again. And this now is the journey on the way to Dunedin. Now the last thing I was thinking of doing at this point was doing some filming and having a jolly old time, because I was feeling far from joyous at this moment, because I was feeling pretty disappointed. But you know, the camera's right there in the chin, so I pressed record, and I'm glad that I did, because this actually was some pretty amazing riding as well. Despite the circumstances, we managed to keep up a really good pace. I mean, if the tyre's going to blow out, it's going to blow out at speed as well as not speed, isn't it, I suppose? So we were keeping a pretty good clip along here on State Highway 87. We're going to travel through Middlemarch, down through Mosgiel, and then down to State Highway 1 on the way to McIver Beach, if we manage to get that far. Now, spoiler alert, I'll tell you this, we made it, so it's not going to end in any further disaster. The horror of seeing that tyre was about as bad as it gets today. We do manage to make it here. So like I was saying before, it's around about 150 kilometres down to McIver Beach in Dunedin, where we were heading to. And the roads were pretty light with traffic, in fact hardly anything, as you can see. The scenery was amazing, the roads are in great shape. I'm just kind of a little bit worried thinking about my tyre, but we got there without incident. The only part that I didn't really enjoy and felt, oh, this isn't good at all, was a set of roadworks that we came across where they had some really hard, rough, loose, coarse gravel spread all through the road. We were going down that piece of hill, and I thought, if it's going to happen anywhere, this is going to be the end of it. But we managed to get through that and travel on through. We're just coming up to Middlemarch, and then soon after that We went through Mosgiel and on the motorway on our last leg, heading through into Dunedin. We're on State Highway 1 now, and Dunedin City and Harbour is kind of coming into sight down the bottom of the hill there. As we come to rest at the lights here, take a little look to the left and you can see our guardian angels, Jan right alongside me, Rick with armour on the back just to the left there, and we're just about 5 minutes out from McIver Beach right now, so feeling happy that we made it and looking forward to carry on a new day with a new tyre for the remainder of our tour, and obviously to get back to Auckland as well. So yeah, we've been real lucky with this little incident. If it was going to happen, it happened in the right place at the right time with the right people around us. Now as we're heading into Dunedin, it's a Thursday, at least when this is being filmed. It's a Thursday afternoon, around about or close on 4:30 in the afternoon, that we're getting the bike into the shop. So it's not going to be dealt with on the spot. We'll come back and get it in the morning. So a big thanks to Jason and the team at McIver Beach for looking after me while I was on the road and in trouble in my hour of need. It certainly helped save the day. Now we're going to be wrapping this one up in a moment as we arrive at McIver Beach. Just want to put in a quick plug for next week. Make sure and come back. You'll get the last leg of the South Island tour as we ride up the Kaikoura coast, heading back to the Picton Ferry. Tell you a little bit more about that next week. See you there, and in the meantime, take care out there, ride safe. See you on the next one.